Good morning, church. I hope you're having a blessed day today. What a day it has been. What a weekend it has been. We have just gotten back from our trip, our first of the three trips before we go to the south of Brazil. Of course, we are recording these in advance, but we have just got back from Limoeiro de Ju, which was an amazing trip here in Brazil. It was a long trip, and God did some amazing things. We left Saturday morning at 6 o'clock in the morning, got there at noon, and then we were there, of course, all day. Preached that night, first day of a 2 day conference, and then went to bed that night, woke up the next morning, and started visiting houses, went to the hospital in town, ministered to people all over, had lunch, did a bunch of stuff, rested a little bit, went back to church that night, ministered again. It was a full day. Got back to the hotel at midnight, stayed up a little bit, woke up at 4 a.m., got in the car or got on the boat at 5 o'clock this morning, and just got back to Ananindeua today, 2 minutes ago. We just walked back in the apartment, and I wanted to go ahead and record this just to share a couple things that God is doing. But number one, we are not going to have a Saturday daily teaching tomorrow. So this is going to be the last one for this week. I'm not even going to be teaching out of the book of First Kings right now. I want to talk to you just for a few moments about some things that God is doing. And then we're going to take tomorrow off, and we'll finish our summary provision and obedience series on First Kings 17 next week. So I just wanted to take just a moment with you and kind of share some things that God had did this past weekend. I do want to encourage you to follow our social media at Blank Slate Ministries, and you can see all of our photos and videos, all the things that we posted. And of course, by the time this teaching goes live, we will have already this trip will have already been done for a couple weeks. This will be a couple weeks old, but still wanted to share it nonetheless because God did some amazing things. Especially this one testimony, which was really awesome, that we went to the hospital. The pastor asked me to go to the hospital. Well, he asked me if I would rather rest or do something, and I was like, well, I'm here for you. You brought me here. I'll do whatever you want to do. I'm more of a proponent of, you paid to bring me out here. Let's do whatever you want to do. And so he's like, hey, let me take you to the hospital. You can go minister to all the people. I said, all good. Let's do that. So we went room to room in the hospital, and I ministered healing to every single person. We left the hospital, went outside, and we were waiting, trying to figure out if we were going to get on some motorcycles to go somewhere, if we are going to walk, or what we are going to do. We were outside for about maybe 5 minutes. Turned around, and one of the people I had ministered to that was hunched over in the bed full of pain was walking out the hospital with a huge smile on their face, full of joy, completely healed. It was truly amazing. But I also wanted to share the things that God is doing, not just in our ministry and the ministries that God is doing, because we saw people healed and freed and the Holy Ghost and power, and it was amazing. But God is opening doors and providing for me. I didn't even know this until I was there talking with the pastor, that his family is living in the city that we're moving to in the South. And we've already made that connection to be able to buy a house. So by the time this goes live, we will have already purchased a house in the South. And it's because of what happened on this trip. And that's so amazing to see these things that God is doing and the doors that God is opening. As I've said for so long, we're talking about the supernatural provision of God, that God provides it before you need it. It's there already waiting on you. You just have to get there. And look at where we're at now, that we're being introduced to pastors and people and all these things that are going to take care of us and help us in the South when we get there. And I didn't even think we would know people before we got there. And God has already made so many introductions, and God has opened all of these doors, and it was just a truly amazing experience these past 2 days. Of course, we just got back today, so we have to preach tonight. in our class. We have a class tomorrow night. We have a class on Thursday night. And then we are going on our next trip. And we're going to go to Campus Broncos. We're going to go back out there again to Maracana. Going to be one last trip with them. Spend about 5 days out there. Come back, preach 3 days. Get on our next trip when we're going to San Luis. That's when we're leaving the state of Pará. We're going to go spend some time with my wife's family, maybe preach out there at some churches, and then we're going to the south. So God's doing some really amazing things. It is awesome. We're so happy for all the things that happened this past weekend. It was just truly amazing. I preached on the fact that the first commandment is what is first, loving God and keeping that as the first priority. And then I preached on the fact that God never changes. And I shared my testimony as I had spent the afternoon talking with the pastor about just remembering. I was showing the pastor some of our recap videos that we post on Instagram, and I was showing him these videos, and it was causing me to remember all of the good things that God has done for me. And as I remembered those things, it was truly touching my life. As I was remembering what God has done before, believing for what God will do now, and what God is going to do today and this week and next week, and what God's going to do when we move to the south and when we go down there and the doors that will open, and it's just going to be amazing. I'm so excited for all of these things. I'm so grateful. I'm thankful to God. It was awesome. We truly had a really good time, and the more I see people do things right, the more it overflows me with gratitude, because I've been to a lot of places, been to a lot of churches, seen a lot of things, and I've been on many trips, and I've seen things done right, I've seen things done wrong. But this pastor, his name is Pastor Anderson. He's the pastor of the Assembleia Judeus Igreja Mai in Limoeiro. It's the city. It's about 50 kilometers north of Camitá, which is another city we preached in before. But this man was faithful. I mean, there's very few people that do everything, take care of everything. He lined up the car to pick us up from our apartment, to bring us to the boat, to basically chauffeur us through the process of getting on the boat, getting to the city, picking us up, taking us to the hotel. It's already prepared. Getting us food, getting us situated, bringing us back and forth to the church, back and forth to this, doing that, being faithful with the offering. And this man was truly a blessing in my life to be able to be there. And of course, God blessed them greatly too. But I was very grateful to the way they treated us. And like I said, I've been many places, seen many things, but this man was truly an amazing experience. And I pray to God that more people and all people would be like him, because that was something I really appreciate. I really appreciate that man for what he did. And it was truly awesome. He's a man of faith, man of God, and his testimonies and his stories, and got good humor and likes to laugh and have fun. And I like that. I like that. Me and him became really, really good friends over the course of 2 days. It was truly an amazing experience. So what's going on right now? Why are we taking tomorrow off? Well, we just returned back home. I do have to preach tonight. I'm preaching 2 times tomorrow. I'm preaching on Thursday, and then we're leaving on Friday. So we're going to take tomorrow off on our daily teachings. We're not going to have a daily teaching tomorrow, just so I can get a little bit of a break. And then we're going to start next week finishing our series Provision and Obedience, or our recap review series on Provision and Obedience that we're doing again. And then we'll start one more, maybe 2 more review series towards the end of the year. We're going to finish all of our reviews before 2026, when we'll start our brand new series. We're going to be doing things like the dispensations of God next year. We're going to be looking at the life of David. We're probably going to take a couple prophets and go through them in great detail again. So there's some big things that I want to do next year. We're going to do a whole bunch of new stuff next year, because we've been doing a lot of review. because we just finished our series, End Time Prophecy, which took over 2 years. So we spent a lot of times related to the end times, and now I wanna get into some subjects. I've been studying a lot of these things a lot. I spent a lot of months studying through things like the dispensations, and I hadn't got a chance to teach them yet, so I want to do that. But for this week, we're going to go ahead and just finish here. I'm not going to do another sermon this week on our daily teachings, and we'll just resume that next week. But I do want to say thank you to all of our partners, people that are faithful in giving and blessing and supporting this ministry. You are a blessing to me, and I just want to honor you, and I thank God for you. So, church, I love you. God bless you. I pray you have a great day. Please make sure you follow us on our Instagram. You can find all of our recaps and our summary videos related to this trip on all of our social media. But, church, I love you and God bless you, and I pray you have a great day.